What's up, guys? Today we came into the forest. We're looking for Yerba Maté. Been exploring all day. It's like a nice rainy day, nice and cold up here. We found some really cool native plants and excited to show you guys how to make wild Yerba Maté using strawberry, guava, and guava. So right here we have the Hawaiian steam corn mushroom. This is one of the mushrooms that you only really find out here on the island. It's got this pink outside, and if you go up to it and smell it, it smells like a rotten meat, and that's because of flies. So the flies help this go around in the forest and propagate. This is a really cool. It has this nodule on the bottom where it spores from. One of the coolest mushrooms in the forest. Not edible, but also not like super toxic. That just means if you eat it, you're gonna have a bad time. Not a full-on death though. I haven't seen one of these for a while. You can eat these berries. They don't really taste that good, but you can make jam out of them. And then the tips of the leaves are edible. These are a little too mature, but the leaf shoots on these are really good for putting in stir fries, curries, stuff like that. With the inkberry, originally from South America. The last time I came up here, this was like 2 years ago, I was looking for Yerba Maté. I've been here 8 times looking for the Yerba Maté before I found it. And one of the first mistakes I made when I was looking for it, I misidentified it as this plant over here. Hilo holly. Part of the holly family and a very close relative to Yerba Maté, but it's toxic for humans. So when I misidentified it, it's the ridges of the Yerba Maté leaf. The leaf of the Yerba Maté has ridges, and it also makes a red berry like this, but these are super toxic for humans, and the leaves are as well. So if you ever see this in the forest, just know it's too good to be true. Even the birds don't eat this one, so kind of stay away from the Hilo holly. When I mistaken it, I had taken the leaves and dried them out, and I was about to make like the Yerba Maté tea with it, and I asked my botanist friend just to double check, and he was like, "Oh dude, that's not Yerba Maté, that's Hilo holly, it's toxic." So got a crisis avoided on the double checking. That's the thing with foraging, it's like you can't always be sure of what you're getting unless you have like a good source to reference it to. This is Coster's curse right here. Coster's curse, one of the most useful plants in the forest and in the jungle. If you're like me, you're backpacking, foraging, hiking for more than a day, this is the nature's toilet paper. So think of it as like Charmin Ultra Plus. It's got the grippiness on there. And then another benefit is the berries over here. So it makes these blueberries. This is a big one right here. You can see like it's a cool little blueberry. Edible berry, it's pretty sweet. Let me get a couple. I'm gonna eat it on the thing. Yeah, so these are like little blueberries. Not super sweet and like crazy flavorful like a blueberry. That's why I call it the Timu blueberry. It's like a bootleg, cheap version of it. But if you need it for sustenance, this is so plentiful all over the mountain and good source of vitamin C. This was actually crazy. The first time I ever realized this was edible or useful was in Colombia in the Andes Mountains. I was hiking with these like guides in the jungle, and the boys, they're like 14. They were like, "Oh yeah, you know this plant? It's toilet paper." And I was like, "Oh dude, no way. That's all over where I live in Hawaii." They're like, "Yeah, you can eat the berries too, and you can use this to wipe up after using the bathroom in the forest." That's like some cool knowledge right there. For the Yerba Maté, there's no flavor unless you add other stuff to it. So for the Yerba Maté today, we're gonna do like a guyaki style. So we're gonna do strawberry guava. These are the invasive strawberry guavas, and we'll throw these in the Yerba Maté to flavor it, give it some sweetness and tartness. This stuff is so good. Think of a strawberry and a guava put together. That's the flavor profile, hence the name. Originally from Brazil, this is like the second most invasive plant in Hawaii. You can see When you look over at the strawberry guava forest over here, it's completely takes over the bottom story, and it doesn't allow for the native plants to compete with it. Regular guava, this is true guava, yellow guava right here. We'll throw it in our strawberry guava so we can get a nice guava yerba mate.
Let's go.
All right, so we found the yerba mate tree right here. It's even seeding right now. Actually, November is like the spice season, so a lot of the peppercorns, cinnamon, they're all seeding, and even the yerba mate is too. So for our drink that we're gonna make, high caffeine content inside of the yerba mate leaf, originally from like South America, Argentina area. And this is, besides coffee, one of the best sources of caffeine on the island. And you can see these are the yerba mate berries right here. That's the mistake that you can make, is that this one's poisonous, this one's good to go. For me, it's all about the leaf structure on these. Okay, so now you can see the yerba mate leaf in its true form. So there is ridges on the side of it, but the mistake I made, and the mistake I wouldn't want you guys to make, is with the hilo holly. See, it's exactly almost similar. It has even the same berries, looking berries and stuff, but this one is a shrub, this is a tree. So first off, when I'm picking yerba mate, I'm always picking it above me. I'm never picking it below me, because it doesn't grow like that. The first time I picked it, I picked this thinking it was the yerba mate, but these are foolish endeavor. What I really look for on this is it's got to be a big tree. It's got to have the markings of the yerba mate. It's a little bit more advanced than just regular foraging, because there's a lot of plants that look just like this. For when you have the eye of like knowing what it is, and I've harvested this before from the same tree, and I made tea out of it and had the effect of good caffeine from this tree. So I'm comfortable with harvesting and eating it. But for the average, just basic forager, this is kind of a little more advanced. But if you go off of this video, you can see on the ridges right here and over here. But always double check everything, because like I said, you don't want to make the mistake I made the first time I came up here. I spent 3 years looking for this tree. I had heard a rumor that it was up here from one of my botanist friends. So I asked him, oh, where is it? And he kind of gave me the vague general area. I came up here 8 different times and walked by this tree every single time, not knowing that this was the actual yerba mate tree. So it took a minute to find it, and once I actually did, it's been a good source of caffeine for me. This is the mountain alpaca. Here in Hawaii, we have a couple different versions. It's an old story that the alpaca was split by the gods into two. It was 2 lovers who weren't supposed to be together, so they put one on the top of the mountain and one on the bottom, and both of the flowers are half of a blossom, and when you put both of the blossoms together, it makes a full flower. So Māmaki is the Hawaiian nettle. It's only found here in the island. It's an endemic plant. We'll bring it over to show. So this is the Māmaki leaf. These are huge ones too. What I do when I pick this, because it's a native plant, I'll only pick the ones with bug bites in it. So I kind of help prune the tree, and it gives it a better chance at thriving. And I get to have my Māmaki tea without harming or damaging the native plant. So yeah, it's got a really nice nutty flavor. It's my favorite for making ice cream. Māmaki ice cream. It doesn't have any caffeine like regular tea plants, but it has a calming effect and was used by Hawaiians as like a calming tea. So we just came across the ʻŌlonā. This is the Hawaiian cordage plant. So this is what they used to make their ropes out of for the va'as when they were sailing in between islands. And right over here, it's a part of the nettle family, just like Māmaki. And it's got these beautiful green leaves right here. You look at this, the seed pod right here. This is like the flower berry. Just like Māmaki, but not used as a medicine or a tea, just for rope cordage. So cassia cinnamon, part of the laurel family, like bay leaf. You can see that's the cinnamon leaf, and when you break it up, it has just the absolute perfume of cinnamon. Oh my god, that one smells so crazy. So this is the cinnamon tree right here, and then growing right next to it is a wild mango tree. And the way I can tell, one, just the leaf structure, I know mango real good, but another one, just like the cinnamon, you can rip. It's got the mango flavor right in the leaf. Be careful though, a lot of people have an allergy to mango sap, so if you do that and you rub your face after, it can give you an irritation. We're up in the mountains right now in the southern Ko'olaus, kind of like on a ridge cliff area. It's a really nice zone for the clouds that come in, a lot of moisture up here, and a lot of really unique plants. We're gonna set up the jet boil, make some yerba mate. I already got the strawberry guavas inside.
That's the guy right there. He did it. Hoyo. That's the guy. Oh, I missed the fucking key moment.
So we're gonna just take off the leaves like this. And these could be dried or raw to get the caffeine and flavor out of them. Just throw these in here. So we're gonna cut the guavas up and go a little bit, open them up a little bit so that the flavor can come out. And we just want it for the sweetness, the vitamin C, the tartness. It's gonna add a lot to the yerba mate. Yerba mate doesn't really have that much of a flavor by itself. Let that bring it up to a good boil. So we're making the yerba mate right now. We threw in the guavas because the flavor on the yerba mate, it's not super strong or profound. You're gonna get the caffeine out of it, you're gonna get the nice tea-like flavor, but to really beef it up, we threw in the strawberry guava and the regular guava. That's gonna give it like a nice fruit flavor, kind of like when you get that brand of yellow yerba mate. This is the groovy guava yerba mate. So we're gonna let it kind of simmer on a boil for like 5 minutes. We don't want the water to evaporate too much because it's gonna be too concentrated. After we bring it up to a boil, I'm gonna cap it and we'll let it steep just like you would with regular tea. And like, that's in probably like another 10 minutes, let all the flavors come out and combine. And then I'm gonna put the cap on, and it has a natural strain on the cap, so I can just drink it out of there like that. And yeah, we've been hiking for a minute, so it's gonna be nice to have that caffeine boost at the end of this. It's nature's energy drink. So we got our yerba mate. Oh, it smells so good. It's like earthy, fruity from the strawberry guava. It has like almost like a lemony kind of flavor. You can see that everything kind of broke down and incorporated. So let's try our wild yerba mate strawberry guava tea. Oh, that's so good. It has such a good flavor. Up here it's all cold, it's starting to rain right now. It's gonna get dark in about 5 minutes. So it's a wild yerba mate tea. Shoots.